One Direction's Story of My Life, the heartbreak they never told you. Some songs are just songs. But this one was a confession hidden in plain sight. For millions, it was the anthem of heartbreak, the soundtrack to teenage tears. But what if everything we thought we knew about this song was a lie? What if Story of My Life isn't about a breakup at all? What if it's actually a public diary entry about a love that was already shattered? And what if the love they were mourning wasn't romantic, but something far more devastating? Today, we're uncovering the secret heartbreak One Direction buried inside their most vulnerable song. A story of fame, loss, and the ghosts that haunted them long before they ever stepped on stage. The answers will change how you hear this song forever. Chapter 1: The Pressure Cooker and the Pivot. To understand the confession, you have to understand the pressure cooker that forged it. Rewind to 2013. One Direction wasn't a band. They were a weather system, a cultural hurricane, 2 blockbuster albums, sold-out world tours, a level of fame so blinding it's almost impossible to imagine. They were 5 boys from normal towns, now living at the absolute peak of the pop music universe. But that peak is a lonely place. The bubblegum pop that had made them stars was starting to feel less like a launching pad, and more like a straitjacket. The world saw 5 smiling, perfect boys. But behind the curtain, they were young men drowning in the gears of a global machine. They were growing up. And they were desperate for their music to grow up with them. Was it possible to be the world's biggest pop act, and still be authentic? That question led them to Midnight Memories. Released in late 2013, this album was not a follow-up. It was a rebellion. The band themselves called it rockier, more personal. It was a conscious pivot away from the polished pop that defined them, and a leap into the raw guitar-driven sounds of classic folk and 80s rock. This wasn't just a new album. It was a statement of intent. They were ready to tell a different kind of story. And the song they chose to announce this new era? It wasn't the loud stadium-chanting first single, best song ever. It was the second. A quiet, melancholic, folk-inspired ballad. Story of My Life. Think about that choice. It was a gamble. They were intentionally slowing things down, forcing the world to lean in and listen. Songwriter Jamie Scott, who co-wrote the track, said he played it for them on a tour bus, and they were instantly captivated. It was acoustic. It was thoughtful. It felt heavy. It was the sound of something real breaking through the noise. This song wasn't just a single. It was a signal. A warning that the story was about to get a lot more complicated. They were handing us a diary, sealed shut. And the opening line was the key. Chapter 2: The Anatomy of a Confession. A real confession rarely arrives with a thunderclap. It whispers. It begins with words heavy with history. The song doesn't explode. It unfolds. A delicate, finger-picked guitar riff feels impossibly intimate. Like we're sitting in a quiet room, waiting for a terrible truth to be spoken. Then, Harry Styles' voice comes in, fragile and worn. Written in these walls are the stories that I can't explain. I leave my heart open, but it stays right here, empty for days. Stop right there. Written in these walls. It's a haunted house of unspoken feelings. These aren't just memories. They are stories he can't explain. He's telling us from the very first second that this pain is too deep, too complex for simple words. And that line, "My heart," stays right here, empty for days. This isn't longing. This is defeat. It's the quiet hum of burnout. The feeling of being so hollowed out that even when you try to feel something, there's nothing there. It's a devastatingly honest way to say you're stuck. The verse digs deeper, laying out the evidence for a relationship that's already a ghost. She told me in the morning she don't feel the same about us in her bones. Seems to me that when I die, these words will be written on my stone. The brutality of that. When someone feels a change in their bones, it's not a mood. It's a seismic shift. An irreversible truth. And his reaction isn't to fight it. It's grim acceptance. Her words aren't just a breakup line. They're his epitaph. A wound so deep, he imagines it will define his entire existence. This is where their choice of genre becomes so important. Folk pop isn't for the dance floor. It's for the soul. Folk music is the language of truth-tellers. It has no room for glitter or glam. Just a guitar, a voice, and a wound. By stripping away the pop production, they were removing the filter, forcing us to confront the words. This isn't a song. It's a testimony. But this isn't just a single moment of heartbreak. It's a cycle, a trap. And the chorus is where we see the gears of that trap beginning to turn. Chapter 3, The Ghost of a Doomed Relationship. As the song builds, the story shifts. It moves from a quiet admission of emptiness to a frantic repeating cycle of pain. This is where the story of his life truly reveals itself. Not as a single event, but as a pattern of self-destruction. Zayn Malik takes the pre-chorus, his voice laced with desperation. And I'll be gone tonight. The ground beneath my feet is open wide, the way that I've been holding on too tight with nothing in between. The imagery is pure vertigo. The ground beneath my feet is open wide. It's not just leaving, it's a total collapse. A free fall. But the real confession is in the next two lines. The way that I've been holding on too tight, with nothing in between. That is the perfect definition of a phantom limb relationship. A white-knuckled grip on something that has already vanished. He admits that all his effort, all his desperation, is for something that has no substance. No connection. Just the empty performance of holding on. And then comes the chorus. An explosion of painful irony. The story of my life, I take her home, I drive all night to keep her warm, and time is frozen. That phrase, the story of my life, is almost always said with a sigh. It's a verbal eye roll at your own bad habits. He's saying, here I go again. He performs these grand romantic gestures, driving all night, keeping her warm, but the punchline is devastating, and time is frozen. Nothing is moving forward. His actions aren't building a future. They are desperately trying to preserve a moment in amber, because the future is a void. He's in a museum of his own relationship, looking at something beautiful that is already dead. But the second half is even more brutal. The story of my life, I give her hope, I spend her love until she's broke inside. This might be one of the most savage confessions in modern pop music. He admits to emotional vampirism. He gives just enough hope to keep her there, but it's a lie. And that verb, spend. You spend money until it's gone. He is spending her love, a finite resource, until she has nothing left. Until she is emotionally bankrupt. Broke inside. It's a chilling admission of causing your own, and someone else's, misery. This is the doomed relationship at the song's core. A love stuck in a loop of empty gestures, false hope, and emotional destruction. Does that feeling sound familiar? The desperate attempt to fix something that's already shattered? If this song has ever felt like your story, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments what this chorus means to you. Because for years, this is the story everyone heard. A powerful, tragic romance. And it is. But that's only chapter 1. What if the she they're breaking inside isn't a person at all? What if the heartbreak is so much bigger? Chapter 4, The Aha Moment. The Rosetta Stone. This is the moment everything changes. The twist that unlocks the song's deepest, most heartbreaking secret. And the key isn't in the lyrics. It's in the music video. The video for Story of My Life isn't an accessory. It's the Rosetta Stone. Directed by their frequent collaborator Ben Winston, it shows no love interest, no girl, no romantic drama. Instead, it's set in a cavernous, dark warehouse. A forest of frozen moments. Thousands of the band's actual childhood photos are hung from the ceiling. And in the video's most stunning sequences, each band member stands beside a perfect live-action recreation of one of these photos, with their real family members. Harry with his mum, Zayn with his little sister, Lewis with his grandparents, Liam with his parents, Neil with his brother. And as they sing, the present-day band member freezes, and their family fades away, leaving behind just the original static photograph. A ghost of the past. This is where it all clicks into place. The she in the song is not a romantic partner. She is a metaphor. For home. For family. For the past itself. Now listen to the lyrics again through that lens. Written in these walls are the stories that I can't explain. Suddenly, it's not the walls of an ex-girlfriend's apartment. It's the walls of their childhood bedrooms. The stories are memories of a normal life, a life so profoundly different from their new reality that it's impossible to explain to anyone. A later verse has the line, I leave my heart open, but it stays right here in its cage. His heart is in a cage. Not of heartbreak, but of fame. It's trapped in the past with his family, in those moments from the photographs. He can try to open it to this new world, but its core is chained to the life he had to leave behind. The chorus is completely transformed. The story of my life, I take her home. Her is the memory of home. The feeling of family. He takes that memory with him on tour buses and private jets, trying to keep her warm in the cold, isolating world of superstardom. But it's no use, because time is frozen. He can recreate the photo, but he can never go back. The past is an image he can look at, but never, ever live in again. And the most devastating line of all? I spend her love until she's broke inside. Her love is now the love and support of his family, the emotional fuel from his past. He is spending that love to survive the crushing pressure of his present. He's drawing on that deep well of love and memory to keep himself from collapsing, knowing that every day he's away, every missed birthday, every phone call instead of a hug, strains that connection. He fears he's draining it, leaving the very idea of home feeling hollowed out. Broke inside. The doomed relationship in Story of My Life isn't with a person. It's a doomed relationship with the past. The confession is that the price of their dream was being severed from the one thing that kept them grounded. They are holding on too tight to memories, knowing there is nothing in between the life they live now and the one they left behind. That is the heartbreaking truth, hidden in plain sight. Conclusion: a story that never ends. Story of My Life isn't one story. It's two, woven together so seamlessly they become inseparable. It's a universal anthem of romantic loss. And it's a deeply personal confession about the unique pain of losing your past to an overwhelming present. This is the song's genius. This is why it has endured. It was the moment One Direction truly grew up. They proved they were more than pop idols. They were storytellers, capable of articulating a pain so complex it required a hidden meaning. They showed a vulnerability that spoke to a universal ache inside all of us, the bittersweet nostalgia for a time, a place, or a person we can never get back. The song is about chasing a ghost. For many of us, that ghost is a former lover. For them, that ghost may have been their own childhoods. Its power lies in that dual meaning, its ability to be both a mirror for our own heartbreaks and a window into the gilded cage of their fame. It's a story that is still being told every time you feel that pang of longing for what was. Every time you hold on to a memory a little too tight, and realize that some parts of your life eventually become a story you can only tell, but never live in again. Thank you for going on this journey with me. If this gave you a new perspective on this incredible song, make sure you're subscribed for more deep dives. But more importantly, I want to hear from you. In the comments, tell me, which story hits you harder? The romantic heartbreak, or the goodbye to the past? Until next time, keep listening between the lines.